Hello, John. How are you?
Hi, Ike. Doing well, thanks.
Okay, welcome to those of you that are viewing this. John Kinyon is a colleague. He and I worked for 15 years or so developing and presenting the Mediate Your Life course around the world. And that's where these maps have come from. That's part of the Collaborating in the Workplace book. Um, so, John, if you would just say a little bit about yourself and then direct folks to a website where they can get hold of you.
I use these maps we've come up with to share with people as well and support. I like to think of what we're doing generally as part of the health and wellness movement in general, that more generally I call empathic communication, kind of just part of health and wellness, part as well as mindfulness and just overall, health of the planet, health of humans, health of everything. So just to share this and share these kind of maps and ways of dealing with challenge and conflict. So that's what I
That's the
find
short
very
version.
meaningful. That's the short version of what I find very meaningful as well. So yeah, my website's johnkinyon.com, JOHNKINYON.com, if anybody's curious about my take on things. But I'm glad we're doing this together. And yeah, Ike, you and I have spent many years developing this work together and
Yeah.
doing it all over the world. And I think we've come up with some things that are very, very powerful and helpful to people. And I'm glad that we're doing this here to support what you've got in your book.
Fond memories on my part, very fond memories.
Mm, mm.
Um, okay, so the scenario here is that John and I are practice partners, and we've arranged a time to have this call together. And we've decided either on the call or beforehand that we're going to do this practicing a difficult conversation is what I call it in collaborating in the workplace. And that John and I, when we developed it, called it the intensity exercise. So we've decided we're going to do that. And before we got on the call here, we decided that that John is going to be the person that has the trigger, and he's asked me to support him by delivering the trigger and in other ways supporting him. So let's just get started, John, um, with you saying what the scenario is.
Yeah, so I, in a mediation context, what I want to practice with is mediating between two parties, and I have accidentally sent something I was intending for one party to another. Nothing that was like a major breach of confidentiality, but clearly a mix-up. And then the response back to that, the email back to me, and the triggering of that, receiving that. So that's what I want to work with.
Okay, so in telling this to me, do you have any need to do the self-connection practice, or shall we go on?
Well, I do notice my heart rate going up a bit as I'm just sharing this and remembering. Yes. So yeah, I do notice there's a little heat and adrenaline rush and things like, yeah. So shall I do a
Yeah,
little?
just go on, get into
Okay.
it.
So yeah, so if I just slow down a little bit and go to my breath, right? So start following my breath and observe my breath. And then it's easier for me to sort of see what my mind is doing there as I observe my breath. And then, yeah, just feel into my body what it's doing. Yeah, so I notice actually some sensations kind of like at the just below, but kind of between my chest and heart, belly and heart, just like whatever that is, the solar plexus, just a kind of gripping, tightening. So I notice that sensation. It's kind of a tingling on my body. My breath feels a little shorter, little more difficult to breathe. And the emotion I put to the name, the label, yeah, just some fear, a little panic, fear. So breath, body, and then need. I think that the need that's coming is a kind of trust, self-trust, integrity, sort of trust in my abilities, capacities, a sense of, yeah, feeling whole and integral and sort of trusting of that. Yeah, that's what's coming there.
Okay. And what would be the trigger for me to deliver to you?
Yeah, so the trigger, I could use lots of things, but if I try to capture maybe a paraphrase, kind of the essence of it, would be, are you, can I trust you? Can I trust you? Are you professional enough? Are you competent enough to help us like that?
Okay. So now are you ready for me to deliver that? Do you want to do self-connection some more?
Ooh, just telling you that specific line got me again. I'll just silently do another round. Just a quick cycle through breath, body, need there. Okay. All right. I'm ready.
Okay, and I'm going to deliver it at a low level of intensity, or try to anyway. So, can we trust you?
Okay. Actually, do another round there.
So, can we trust you? Are you competent? What's the deal?
Oh, yeah, that's good. I could feel the
You could feel the energy coming through
the belly. Yeah, I felt it coming through the screen, and then from my belly all the way, like rippling up through my body. So it's nice to pause that. Remember to breathe. Focus on the breath. And then I feel, more now, really feel the chest, some constriction, and that sense of adrenaline rush. The need for trust, confidence. The word faith comes up, like not necessarily in a religious sense, but just
Sort of
another word along those lines, trust and faith and
faith in your capacities,
in
your
my,
abilities.
yeah. So trust and faith. And then I like to try to really expand it out. So it's just so I can get a sense of all of us humans, wanting this. So the sense of how everybody wants to feel that faith in their own way of being. That's how we're made. One of my favorite people, David White, the poet, would say, like, faith in the way we're made, and
So like the way you're made is enough, something like that.
yeah. So that enoughness of how that trust in our enoughness of just the being who we are as we are. That's very soothing and comforting to name that. Yeah. So I can feel the energy subside and get more settled and grounded.
Okay.
Feel calmer inside now. Yeah.
Okay. So can you hear this as a please or a thank you?
Right. Yes. So then if I ask myself, can I hear this as a please? Yes. I can hear this message as someone, as this person, as you, and as this person saying, please, you have some needs that you really want met. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And now, do you want to express or empathize in response to that trigger, to what I've said?
Yeah. So if I'm imagining like you're actually there, it's not an email, it's just we're actually talking, then I'd say I'd want to try to, go empathic reflection to hear you, to let you know I hear you.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I choose. And then I do it. So let's see. So if you're this person and I say, yeah, as a meta comment, I notice how much I want to kind of justify or explain, but I don't think that would be helpful. So I'm gonna stay with my choice,
Right.
and go with. So I'm guessing this is a high stakes thing for you, and you really want to trust you're in good hands, and that you can really know that you're gonna, or really believe that you're gonna get the support you need, and the whole situation needs to turn out well to get to the end point that you're really hoping for. And you'd like to really, you don't want to question, whether I can help you. You want to really just believe and know that I can. Is that right?
So, and then I'm going to immediately come back with a second trigger, which is, yeah, I want to trust you. What's the deal? What your email is really proving to me that maybe I can't trust you.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, okay. So luckily we're in an exercise. I can go back to self-connection. Slow it down. Well, the idea is I can do this. We can learn how to do this in the moment, but it's really nice to know to do it in practice first and just really slow it down. So yeah, remembering. Oh yeah, okay. Just follow the map. Go back to breath, body, need. Breathing, feeling into my body. I noticed this time, just by going to my breath, feeling my body, immediately the tension dropped already. And then if I again go to those needs to be enough, to have faith and trust in myself, to be trusted, to be believed in, to be seen. Oh, that's a new one. To be seen for my abilities, my contribution, my ability to contribute, to be trusted, seen and trusted and valued. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one too. Valued. So, okay. So that feels very settling back into that. And then now, can I hear this as a please? This person just saying please, that they really have got these strong needs. And yes, I can hear the please. Yeah. And now, what do I choose? How about I'd like to try choosing expression now. So expressing to you as this person. Yeah, well, I can really understand that. That you want to know how that could happen and to, maybe feel some reassurance there. And what I'd like to say is that I I own that I mixed up in that moment where the email was intended to go. And what I'm most in touch with in this moment is some sadness, because I so much don't want anything to get in the way for either you or the other person to really sort of relax into trusting that you're held, and in a way that you can connect with each other. And that's something I really want to support, that you and the other person can try to have some trust between you and to connect and and hear each other's in a way that can lead to something very mutually beneficial. And in any way, if I have kind of shifted the focus from that, I'm really sad about that, because I just want to contribute and support you and the other person. And so I'm wondering how it is for you to hear that.
Well, it
So I
does
guess we should stop
reassure
there.
me a little bit. So now, as a practice, in your practice partner, I had to really restrain myself to not respond to his empathy guess, and I was beginning to respond to the expression. And as practice partners, we might well then have a mock conversation. But for this exercise, we're going to stop now and shift to feedback, and first, to start with John, how was that for you? How did you feel doing that?
Yeah, I'd be curious when it's your turn, as you were in the role, especially both times when I empathized and then when I expressed. I'd be curious, in role, how that landed for you.
Yeah,
But
I'll tell you that. Yeah.
on my side of it, what I particularly noticed on this last, self-expression is it felt nice to. I really wasn't sure I really let it come out in the moment of just like what was there that kind of wanted to be expressed. And it surprised me a little bit. And I liked it. I liked it, kind of what I ended up focusing on and what I cared about and what I wanted this person to hear, that it wasn't just a kind of, oh, fuck, I screwed up. And damn, I'm such an idiot. And, please forgive me. And, I'm such a schmuck. And, it didn't, it's not,
Right.
It was just about something very different than that. And I kind of like how that just, the way it came out. And then it was nice to notice how quickly my system kind of adapted to the trigger, to this stress response coming. And very quickly, as we did it the second time round, I could just, from the very beginning to that, in such a short time, could feel my nervous system really getting more resilient, even just a kind of sense I could really just drop into that self-connection much quicker. So that was cool. It's always nice to feel how quickly that can happen.
Yeah.
When we're practicing like this. So that's my experience.
Yeah. So from my side, as I said, but I'll say a little bit more, is that in response to the empathy guess and then the expression, it was a challenge for me, particularly with the empathy guess, not to sort of be drawn in. I did react to that, and I did it favorably. I wanted to engage, and so I enjoyed that part of it. And then the expression, likewise. The shift that you made in your expression, where it was what you were hoping to do for us, me and the person that I'm in mediation, that you're mediating between, that that reassured me. I mean, it's interesting because the words were not, the kind of thing that you said of, oh, I screwed up, please forgive me, all of that, which we sort of expect in normal human interaction. But I felt sort of very reassured. I wasn't done, but I felt
moving in that direction.
Yeah, no, but moving strongly in that direction.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I shifted here. I don't have this energy of, holding that you're not, we may need to go to somebody else or do something else here, but like, oh, we can do this.
Yeah, let me just add a little bit there to that point for me too, that I remember when I did a little meta comment for a second. Oh, I feel tempted to kind of justify or make an excuse for, and I could really feel the pull to somehow explain it away and make it somehow like,
kind of to defend yourself or something.
In some, not like in an overly defensive, but somehow to try to make myself look better or not look bad, or kind of make some excuse for it that could seem plausible or whatever. And by not doing that at all and just going right for what I wanted to support and contribute to, and my sadness, owning it without trying to judge.
Yeah, when
it felt good.
Yeah. Okay.
To do tempting, it was interesting to notice how tempting it was to go that other way. But then when I went, that I could feel more connected to you as I did it. And that was nice to kind of really notice that shift by slowing down, self-connecting. I could get into that place where I found a more like authentic way to respond to you that was connecting, instead of what would have been probably a little disconnecting if I had tried to just kind of explain it away or something. So anyways.
So as you were doing that, I was getting the sense that you were doing the first two steps of the making amends process, which is not part of this course, but you can go look up what we mean by that, John and I mean by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any feedback to me about anything very specific that I said or did that landed particularly, or I get a general sense from what you've said?
No, I don't have specific words to attach to my feedback, and I think I'm done on my feedback. I've completed that.
Okay, great.
Okay, so that's the end of our practice session, and thank you for being with John and myself. It's been fun for me to be here with John. We don't get to spend as much time with each other as we have in recent years. See you on the next video.
Yeah, thank you, Ike, for doing this with me. I enjoyed it.